So here we are outside the Canberra Freemason Lodge.
Hello in there. There's the music.
I can make a phone the door to start the thing off.
Hey Trace.
Where's Paul?
I don't know yet.
Seriously,
We're giving you a break. It's been a long time since we were here last time. 3 months.
come to inquire about membership.
Hey, bro.
How you doing?
Hello, guys. That was 3 of them.
Oh, there's plenty of security cameras.
That's the Mason one.
It's not blood on your hands.
You're not fault.
Hi, brother. Hey,
Pass that to
sister.
Dad.
How are you doing, sister?
Yeah, good.
Excellent.
Oh, well, I've got a fine
Can I
room,
give you a
mate.
tray,
You're
brother?
big now.
Doors go.
You go. What do you guys do?
Music guy?
Not doing this again tonight, guys.
It's really the other side.
Good evening, Maxonons. We've come to visit you.
We protest peacefully.
Serious.
That's right. The Freemasons are the virus, along with the media in this country and the world. We are here to expose what these people actually do within your community, within our nation, and within the world.
What's up with the glass doing funny?
I was doing really.
What happens in the secret societies? They've been keeping secrets for a long time now, I believe.
Don't tell me you don't have a voice. Yeah, they're watching. I ain't even paranoid. I'm putting up the fight here. God, yeah, they're not a boy. I just look at what the facts prove. You think that no one will be back soon? Think to be the bearer of bad news, but if that's truth, then I have to. Now I'm making moves and I've never been more proud. That's just another pick in the wall. We had a
Knock, knock.
couple more in the whole world.
Who's at the door?
On the wall now, screw man. So the show with the presidents. Give a chance.
People, we want the filth taken out of this world.
Pardon? Some other phone. Oh no, it's not that.
We've noticed that this town runs wholly on Masonic sculpture.
They're all the inventors like Franklin. Nah, I ain't even kidding. Yeah, that whole back the
Say, oh, no, not you again.
Henry Ford and the shit.
You say that every month. We're not saying every month. Hopefully, take it around the country. So the same thing tonight. Around the world. Let's say every month is a Mason Thursday. With a Mason building. Very Mason in this building right now. It's anything to be Mason that drives a what? A Hyundai with beat up looking car. Open up the door. Try talking last time, man. Talk to us again.
What's the deal?
Man, no, what's going on? What are you talking about there? In a secret society.
Oscar Wilde and even Alexander Pope. There's so many that you know. Like
What secrets do you keep?
Mozart, Shaz, Tibbets, household names. James A. Smith, who invented the game.
Household names.
Hector Hoover in the FBI, direct the first maneuver. The architect of Rushmore.
They've been sculpting our society for a long time now. Red Cross, another Mason tried to see me. Now to bring it back home with the Charles Brownlow, Don Bradman. Don Bradman was a Freemason. What? Part of a secret society? He was an everyday Australian hero, wasn't he?
See on TV, they all have one thing in common. They're in that big club that you and I aren't in. They're Freemasons. And they've all taken an oath to secrecy.
They've all taken an oath to secrecy.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never put a jab, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're
Never
still
wore a
here.
mask.
Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all the camps. 2% camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They broken the roads, broken the law, back time with the spirit. Now we're still here.
And they're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and got me up, but
Out of Freemasonry. Still live
we try not laugh.
in a country like Australia.
In the same car park. These cops ain't smart. I'ma make a drop this charge. Son, you watch. We take it back to the start. No D's, no titles, no trespass. Now we charge you. Take
No,
it
no.
for all the assaults, all the abuse.
Who's at the door?
Stop knock. Yeah, who at the door? Knock the guy.
Knock the door.
Oh, we were gonna regroup and come back to the front lawn. Yeah, we're still here. Still ain't got no fear. We won't try.
That's right, with no fear involved.
Is that all you got? We take on you mob. We unite. You don't call the shot. Sovereign's been here all along. And they're still here.
And we're still here.
Return to the sovereign, but they never left. They're still here.
Hey.
Yeah, they're still here. Yeah, they're still here.
Big
Show
son.
civilization. It's been how many years? They're still here. Need your support for the new way this war is fought. Our worry for the law and in June income war records.
Yeah,
Gotta cut out the cancer. Yeah, that's what the plans are. Walk with the elders.
You gotta cut out the cancer in this
That is the answer.
world.
We're still here.
In Australia.
Never got the jab. Never want a
And
mask.
the Masons are part of it.
Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps. Done all the camps. 2% camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit. Now we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and got me up with a man on bail, and I'm still here. They see us come. We
They
see
see
them
him
run.
run.
Yeah, we are one. Free our daughters, free our sons.
Yeah, they're getting scared. Front line, you can bet I'm there. Even when we're gone, our spirit lives on. Yeah, we ain't going anywhere. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never got a job, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camp, done all the camp. 2% camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They broken the roads, broken the law, but we're still here.
How far the Australian government is invested with Freemasons
And not be up with a man
to
on
turn
bail
the
and I'm
people to
still here.
operate to their own code that's outside the jurisdiction of the Australian government. In fact, they swear to operate to their own code despite whatever the government says.
Let's have some truth about revitalised, institutionalised people. Let's have some names. Names of people who've actually affected the government and the politics and the direction of Australia to the point now where our country's being run by pedophiles who act without impunity, with absolute impunity, without any regard for the sanctity of the lives that they rule.
And who are these people?
I'll give you the first name. Sir Edmund Barton, first Australian Prime Minister. Did you catch that? Our first Australian Prime Minister was a Freemason.
Was a Freemason?
That's exactly right. Initiated into Australian Lodge of Harmony number 555 English Constitution on 13th of March 1878. I bet you're proud of that one.
I bet they are.
So, from the very start, at the very highest level of government, Australia has been infiltrated by fraternalised individuals who operate according to their own code without any regard for the people of Australia, what they believe, or the freedoms or the culture that they hold dear. These men are men of a secret society that are bound to each other by blood, by guilt, and by shame, and by the crimes that they've committed together against the Australian people, and worse than that, against our Australian children.
That's right, against our Australian children. And exactly what happens to the children?
Institutionalised people that have infected our government at the very highest level from the very inception of this nation as a federation. That's one name, Sir Edmund Barton. Our first Australian Prime Minister was initiated into Australian Lodge of Harmony number 555 English Constitution on the 13th of March 1878. Shall we have another name from the Brotherhood?
Everything you need to turn this into this.
Notice how that name appears in a Canberra suburb too. You find something very interesting about the names of high-level political Freemasons. They also show up on your suburb names and your street names. What does that tell you about Canberra?
Tells us that it's a Freemason town.
Sir George Reed, fourth Prime Minister of Australia. Lodge Centennial number 169 UGL of New South Wales, November 16th of November 1898. There you go, there's another Australia, there's another Canberra suburb, Reed. There's another name, another Canberra suburb, also Australian Prime Minister, also a Freemason. Sir Joseph Cook.
Sir Joseph Cook.
Sixth Prime Minister of Australia, initiated into Lodge Independence number 8, UGL, New South Wales, 12th of February, 1892. So from the very beginning of this nation, we have we've been run at the highest levels of government by a separate agenda that does not have the interests of the average Australian people at heart. In fact, to them, we are dumb sheep to be guided, manipulated, used and slaughtered as they see necessary. That is what Freemasons believe. They believe they are the illuminated people in society and that the rest of us are just a pack of dum-dums that they need to lead in the right direction. They don't care how many of us they tread on as long as they achieve their objectives. And from the very beginning of this nation, our Prime Ministers have been Freemasons. Let's skip forward.
My name is Michael Crawford. Yes, I bet you might have read about in Forbes and other financial magazines. I'm also called the Wall Street Wizard.
Is that your free Freemason magazine?
Oh yes, darling, I can't wait to get home and browse.
I'm going to go start my fire with it.
Well, can I browse first to see what shit is on it? Don't get beautiful with a little egg.
Oh, aren't they just divine? Yes. Freemason magazine 101 or 666.
This is a new leadership team.
Oh wow! All hail Satan!
Oh, this is old. This is December 2021. Oh.
Excuse me. Can we please have the updated version?
Every day, another mandate. You will never get us to obey. Nobody, every day. Trying not to the west side all day. Every day. Decisions being made. You never get the jab and your time on the day. Every day. No matter what he says, we ain't never gonna go away. Every day, another mandate. You will never get us to obey. Every day.
So we know how the pedophile agenda also ties in directly with the Freemasonic institutionalised, fraternalised agenda of your secret society. We understand that in order for you to access certain levels of power beyond the lower levels of your society, your fraternity, we know that you have to become compromised in such a way that your soul is forever stained by the acts that you committed. Literally, it's the devil's deal.
Where did the rituals come in?
How many of you have ritually abused children in order to access the upper echelons of your power structure in which you wish to ascend?
You will never get us to obey. Every day, we'll be in your face.
How many of you have they compromised?
Decision been made. We'll never get the jab in your phone.
Deliberately compromised.
No matter what you say, we ain't never
With
gonna
filthy, depraved sexual acts. Just so you can gain more power and more influence in the political structure of this country.
We'll never get a jab in your phone. Won't pay. All cops pussies.
The things that I'm talking about are well documented in America. They're well documented in America. They've been going on generationally now.
When you get caught, say you can't recall. We had enough, so you black. You ain't
The names you might want to research: Roy Cohn and his successor Jeffrey Epstein. Both of those men were involved in blackmail operations with high-profile, prominent political and social and media people, corporate people, economic people, scientific people, key individuals, people of outstanding quality, maybe people like you consider yourselves to be. All you just need is a chance to realise your potential. But you're taking the devil's deal.
Where's his knob?
And the deeds that you've done to reach where you are have burned and blackened and stained.
Yeah, everybody's in the lodge.
and
They've locked the
yourself
doors.
Forever. no fear. Your deeds have not gone unnoticed. The Lord God Almighty watches. The Bible says, every one of us shall give account of himself to God.
I can tell
And the
you.
people are watching too. You can't hide behind your symbols and your lies and your legislation and your influence and your money and your corporations and your falsehood and your deception. We know who you are. We have your names. We understand your agenda. And we're fucking sick of you people messing with our children.
I can tell you about the Epstein lineage. In Heath, the lords of Epstein were a family of German nobility in the Middle Ages. From the 12th century onwards, they ruled extensive territories in the Rhine-Main region from their castle at Epstein, northwest of Frankfurt. However, their line became extinct in 1535, and the Epstein name no longer featured in that area. Instead, the Epstein surname had Jewish origins. After the Jewish exodus from Spain in 1492, a line moved to Epstein in Syria and took the Epstein name. Epstein became Epstein and then Epstein. During the course of the succeeding centuries, the name is assumed by many Jewish people, not necessarily because of any particular line or relationship, but because simply it was a well-known surname. Then it moves into the Rothschilds. In the late 1800s, the Rothschilds of Germany decided to rob their own Jewish people, who were wealthy in Germany with the help of elites, the Bush family and Bohemian Grove elites who controlled all of US media and influences in US banks. The idea to create World War I and World War II was born. The satanic Freemasonry theory, order of chaos, and world sacrifice to Cabal god Moloch. The Third Reich was actually the Cabal and controlled by the Jesuits from Bavaria, who came off the Vatican, controlled Khazarian mafia system. The Knights Templar was actually the first military to install banking system through Europe, which to this day is the world banking system connected to BlackRock, Rothschilds, Soros, CIA, Rockefellers, and on and on. Back in 1766, Benjamin Franklin, a national treasure and US icon, travelled to Germany, Switzerland, Italy, and met with the elites of Europe, the old country. In this trip, he was introduced to adrenochrome and how you extract the adrenal gland from the body. In 1998, a team of renovators working on restoring the former Franklin abode uncovered over 1,200 human bones in the basement of the house of Benjamin Franklin. The media, controlled by BlackRock, Freemasons, who Benjamin Franklin was a part of third degree Illuminati, were quick to cover up the story and blame a friend of Benjamin Franklin. The saying was can't talk anymore. Cadavers studying, and Franklin didn't know. The truth of the story of the legacy of Benjamin Franklin was he was an adrenochrome dealer and linked to every US major society in his day and age. And just to go on, now the UN is trying hard with Davos Group, World Economic Forum, to cover up the Epstein story, which will connect everything. We know who you are.
Yeah.
Yo. That's right.
It's crazy now.
Crazy. Conspiracy theorists. How many times have we got to be right? How many of our predictions need to come true?
Paul. Paul.
You realise it just shows your cowardice and your lack of character that you have to prey upon the weak and the
We
innocent.
said to get back to the passport, the government said to run. Bring what you need for a table and seats. Still believe them? Run. We said, well, we're gonna need boosters. The government said, we'll see. More for new doses, let us to the coast. With a match to teach. We said to release the controller. They said to release for your health. The pump been shouting, got a low open. That could be self. Never tell you to build in a prison. But to tell you that it isn't the plan. What you gotta do, which one come through when they come through, pushing the camp. Yeah, can't sit on the fence. It's us or them, don't pretend that the rules make sense. We're only doing through what come in this lens. Lockdown extends, can't see friends, can't meet ends.
Oh, the latest edition, September 2022. They gave us the last year edition.
Yeah, and then it got thrown back through their fucking door.
The freedom season is the end, I don't believe it. I'm more for policing, on the street, this wrong, this reason. To the new normal, ain't no cheating. I'm alone with Ben, I'm not leaving. My choice been made, got no fear, voice no shake. Stand tall, boys I make, do normal deals, not my boys away. It's going down to the wire, anyone who speak out, I admire.
We understand the source of Freemasonry. We understand your symbols. We understand the square and the compass. We understand the two triangles. We understand what that fusion means to you people. Why you all follow the Kabbalah on some level. It's one of these teachings, in case you didn't know. So on some level you're all Jewish mystics. You're all Jewish occultists. Because your symbology, a lot of your belief system comes straight out of the Kabbalah and has to do with the connection of knowledge, the connection of man, the connection of the universe and the cosmos through the Sephiroth of the tree of life. We understand some of that is nothing but occultism. It comes from darkness and it leads to darkness. I noticed the big G's missing off the front of your building tonight. How long before you earn the big G on the front? You'd like us to believe that the G, right in the middle of your Freemasonic symbol that represents your fraternity, actually means God. Because you're good Christian people, aren't you? That's just a falsehood and a deception. And the front, behind the eyes of the ignorant. We're not ignorant to your devices. We understand what they mean, what they represent, and we understand where that leads. We understand who you follow and who you truly worship there. Because you are not Christian people. Some of you may believe in your heart you're Christian people, but your leader, the 33rd degree Freemason, that's leading your ceremonies tonight, he is not a Christian man or woman.
Join us, I'm protest. Stop this build.
Your 33rd degree Freemason believes that that G actually stands for Gnosis, spelled with a G, as in Gnosticism, a form of Western magic, a system of mysticism.
We have the whole government, police.
And I just want to say, everywhere we protest, we have people telling us to shut up, go home. Funnily enough, when we're outside the Freemason Lodge, not a single peep. A lot of people know about the Freemasons.
Sorry.
No, that was me. It's alright. I was young, something different.
So Gnosis actually stands for the God of knowledge.
Oh, really?
The God of knowledge is the God of illumination. So you worship a God called Lucifer, the God of light and illumination. Your God is a false God and an idol.
Here comes some more Freemasons.
Well, we all believe in that.
Are you guys Freemasons too? Be sure that you might be.
Gnosis, knowledge, the God of knowledge.
He's got to put his mask on.
At the very beginning, with a tree of what? The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Forbidden knowledge, occult knowledge, The knowledge of how to become your own little god. That's what the Freemason G stands for. The God of knowledge.
I went through life.
The God is the serpent.
That spinning
The
ball.
symbol is the serpent. It will always be a serpent. The nature of the serpent is to deceive.
Didn't you hear Joe Biden? Didn't you hear Joe Biden the other day say the pandemic's over? No need for a mask. Pandemic's over.
Still allowed to wear one, and we don't want to get you guys sick. We've been seeing lots of different people, okay?
Political.
Oh, I'm immune to it, mate.
Alright.
Yeah.
Known as Freemason.
What's going on today?
We're just having a little protest. Yep.
What about?
How about the Freemasons?
We believe
they
that
done?
they've actually.
We're just against Freemasonry altogether because they worship the devil and Moloch.
Yeah, righto.
Yep.
Okay, well, look, I don't need to do that right now. What I'll do is probably have a chat with people inside and just work out what they want to do. This is obviously private property.
032
You're obviously allowed to protest.
It is actually a political statement.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
You must know something about
But if you are protesting
with
if you are protesting private property, you might have to just step up and
Sure.
something like that. So we'll have a chat with them there. I assume you guys aren't here to be violent or
Well, we haven't
property
displayed
damage
any
or anything
violence,
like that.
mate.
And I appreciate that. That's all fine then. So we'll have a chat
You
with
know,
them.
you know most of us Masons have given you any trouble.
Sure, and we really appreciate it. We really appreciate that.
But we do believe that the people of Australia have a right to know certain truths about the people who are actually fraternalised and
within your
institutionalised in the upper echelons of our government, mate. So,
Yeah, we're not here to stomp on your rights or anything like that.
no,
If people are
I
making
appreciate
complaints
that
about
too.
the level of
If
noise
you're willing
or
to
specific conduct, then obviously you've got
respect
to
their
comply.
rights, that's really, yeah.
As long as you're happy to respect our
We get
rights.
paranoid when you guys run up
I
behind us.
understand this is private property, and if you do ask me to move, I'm not going to give you a hard
Yeah,
time.
good. No, I appreciate the peaceful approach.
Yeah.
So, good. So we'll chat to the guys inside and then
No
we'll...
worries.
Well, we'll move down onto the footpath there.
They could have just asked us.
By the devil. Many think that he don't exist, but that's what he wants. That's one of his.
They poked us out a magazine through the door. I thought they liked us.
I don't know. There's a sales pitch on us.
So I questioned everything I was told. I had to question that spitting word. I had to relearn it all again. Get some truth inside this brain. Pretty soon I realized that the globe I was taught was a lie. So I studied as hard as can be. I found the fire conspiracy man, it hit me like a ton of bricks. The globe
The occult background and origins of Freemasonry. These people are high magician fraternity.
Now those people seem to also be directly associated with fraternities and secret societies. Why is there a connection between former prime ministers and the Freemasonic movement? Not just one or two, but a continual succession of Australian prime ministers are Freemasons. I can give you the watch numbers and the dates in which they're inducted into their Freemasonic lodges. All of them,
that reality,
half of the other.
for a while there, I was pretty shocked, but
Why is it the men
God,
who achieve the highest success in our community are also institutionalized, fraternalized individuals?
fake it, you view your life with a different take. It ain't just random.
What is it about this society?
We ain't living on no stupid.
What is it about these people
ridiculous
that attracts men of power?
God created it all.
Is it like a rite of passage? Are they rites like a rite of passage? Like an initiation? Why is that so many prominent Australian politicians are all going to Freemasons?
I don't really question.
Freemasons.
I've already been questioned. Okay,
The country and the culture in which they operate.
Now
their own system and their own way of doing things, despite the laws or culture of the country in which they operate. Who are these men that have been ruling us for generations? If they all share the same agenda, then obviously the world we live in is a reflection of that agenda. I don't know about you people, the average person on the street, but I'm not happy with the reflection of the Freemasonic agenda and as it has been projected into society through political, social, economic, corporate and scientific and educational manipulation. Because there are Freemasons who are everywhere, in every part of our social and economic and political structure, as well as our religious system. I read a very interesting article published 2 or 3 days ago by the ABC of all people. And in that article, a certain person was complaining about the fraternal infiltration of a certain Pentecostal group.
Protesting. I realise you're protesting. Right, so, yeah, anybody that wants to listen.
I read a very interesting article in the ABC a couple of days ago.
Never seen you guys here before. We've been here before.
It was talking about Pentecostal.
No, we're just concerned citizens coming out.
Certain members, certain levels of local and state government.
You guys plan on going
Now,
later?
if the ABC thinks it's a problem that certain fraternalised Pentecostal groups have infiltrated certain lower and mid-levels of state and local government, what about the fraternity of the Freemasons that is infiltrated to the highest level of our Australian government? Why don't they pose a problem? The same way the fraternalised religious groups like the Pentecostals do. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You're all fraternalised individuals. You all operate your own agenda outside the scope of society in which you live. In fact, your agenda is to fashion the scope and form of our society in which you have imprisoned us.
The deep state is organised from the top echelon employees of more than a dozen powerful agencies such as the CIA, the FBI, NSA, IMF, CFR, BIS, top generals, admirals and other military officials, long-serving parliamentarian Congress and senators, directors of major supervisory agencies, and CEOs of large multinational corporations, the majority of whose shares are owned by deep state cronies, all government agencies, or what you might call the running backs of the cabal. The satanic control is the result of a highly organised, long-term conspiracy aimed at establishing the New World Order based on the Luciferian revolution against God and nature. The real top of the pyramid is formed by the Luciferian pharaonic rulers Octagon, based in Switzerland, who are at the core of the global octopus structure of ruling elites with their tentacles in every niche of our society. These are the Pharaonic Templar bankers of Switzerland with their 5th column of Masonic followers. They form the ruling oligarchy all over the world. The ruling originate from Lucifer's occult mystery religions which sprang from the Babylon of Egypt. They are now identified as the global elite or deep state cabal, who see us as their slaves and property with which they can do as they please. Swiss Octagon Templars. At the top of the pyramid hierarchy are the Swiss Octagon Templars, followed by the second layer consisting of George Soros and the Nazis. Actually, the Nazis are an integrated part of the Octagon and somewhat belong to the top as well. According to the highly recommended documentary, The Barrow Show, the last stronghold of the Crusaders, the Templars fell on the 18th of May, 1291. And just 2.5 months later, Switzerland was founded on 1st of August, 1291. According to the documentary, the treasure of the Knights Templar was hidden in Switzerland, with which the Swiss banks were founded. The Freemasons evolved from the Templars.
does not give you the right or access to pedophile our children.
I'll now go to the government side, but my colleagues have indicated that Senator Heffernan can take their slot for their 15 minutes.
This is Senator Bill Heffernan speech to the Senate.
As he is involved with other committees as well.
Regarding
Heffernan, over to you.
a list of 28 alleged pedophiles.
Mr Attorney General, in recent months I put a proposition
He's a real man.
to the Royal Commission into the institutional treatment of children, and I might say at the outset I think that commission under Justice McClelland and others, and including Mr Reid, who's just come to the table, are doing an excellent job. And it's pretty heartbreaking to see what's gone on and what's been denied for the last 50 years now being exposed as a reality. It's broken a lot of hearts.
Educate them at the same time.
I actually want to go to the proposition, Mr Attorney, that we should include in the terms of reference the institution of the law. And I have documents here which the Royal Commission has seen to justify that case, and in fact every Attorney General, from Attorney General Ruddock till now, has seen some of these documents. They are police documents, and they are very disturbing.
All you have to do is Google it, right?
Or brave it now.
In the last 18 months, I've put forward a case which I initiated to remove a judge from the bench in New South Wales, Justice Gary Neal, whose name in the trade was Gorilla in Black Lace, and that succeeded to a point. We're hearing a case against a man who was found guilty of raping siblings and then faced new charges, which the judge wouldn't allow the earlier charges to be allowed into court. During the hearing of the case and from the bench,
A meeting of the mind.
from the bench, during the case, said to the court that he thought the law was out
No,
of
they're
date,
Masons. I think there's only the 5
and
that
that
came in.
sex for siblings
Did you
should be
get the
now
spooky creeps
legal,
behind them?
and it shouldn't be illegal for men to have sex with children.
What?
And I found that despicable and despising.
Well, you
and a
are right,
complete
Bill Heffernan. That is
bias
despicable
displayed
and
on the bench.
despising. It is
Took it
fucking
to the
disgusting.
Judicial Commission, and I might say the New South Wales Judicial Commission is doing an excellent job, and I have a good relationship and have had for some years. And as you know, Mr Attorney, I've tried in vain to get a federal judicial commission. And I think the treatment in the federal jurisdiction of children by some people in the jurisdiction of the Family Law Court is disgusting and a disgrace, and some of those children are a tool
Oh, yeah?
for attorneys
Hey?
in representing cases.
Alright.
So having produced a set of documents to the Royal Commission under an order to produce, which includes, disturbingly, documents that name in one document 28 people as alleged pedophiles,
What do you want me to film?
signed off by Gary Crook QC, counsel assisting an earlier Royal Commission, includes a whole lot of prominent people, and I think to protect the discretion of the Royal Commission, I won't comment on what the Commission thought, except that they thought it was outside the terms of reference of the Royal Commission. One of my problems is that we have in Australia, and I mean, it's like the denial of the priests and the altar boys, to make a sort of a cheap comparison for 50 years sort of thing. We have in Australia, sadly, a compromise at the highest of levels. There's a former Prime Minister on this list, and it is a police document. We have a compromise similar to the compromise demonstrated by 60 Minutes in recent times in the UK. And when I approached 60 Minutes and said, why in God's name did you have to go to the UK to do that? They said, because no one in the UK would do it. And can I just say to the children that have been abused, to the parents and the loving mothers, quite often more than the fathers, who go to places like divorce courts, and the lawyers use the tool of abuse in the divorce courts. The divorce courts should deal with, in my view, the breakup of the family and its assets, etc. It shouldn't and isn't qualified to deal with abuse that is alleged. That should be a separate entity, and it's not. I just want to put everyone on notice.
Are you talking about the abuse of children here?
The family law court judges demonstrate quite regularly that they are not capable of dealing with that phenomenon, that the custody battle is often uses the legal tool of one partner abusing the other, whether that's true or false, and in many cases it's false. Could I just go to, and thank you very much for your assistance.
There are provisions, of course, Senator, in the Family Law Act, which do deal with the making of false allegations, which, of course, apart from anything else, is perjury if made under oath, but also may have consequences in terms of costs and other adverse consequences for parties maliciously making false allegations.
People, because they know I'll try and help, who have their lives ruined because the law outsmarts them in the family court. Could I just, to make the point, I absolutely believe that in many cases, and all human endeavour has failure, and none more spectacular than me.
What's the group saying?
But it is often not people's secrets, and obviously these documents are very disturbing, and they were delivered to me by a police agency some time ago because no one seems to want to deal with them. It is often...
I understand you have put the documents to which you refer into the hands of police.
Some of these this folder actually, as Mr. Reid knows, and I thank Mr. Reid, and I think you're doing an excellent job, as is the Royal Commission, actually came back hand-delivered. Every Attorney General, bar you, but you're on that committee when I tried to get the argument up for the Federal Judicial Commission, has seen some of these documents. Some of them didn't read them, some of them returned them. Robert McClellan tried to do something about some of them. It's not so much the secret that's the problem. It's when a group of people, such as the 28 people on this page, keep each other's secrets.
Really?
That the institution, going back to my point of the institution, becomes compromised. And on this list, and I won't, there are some spectacular examples of that. People involved in hearing court cases.
They just moved over there.
Anyhow, I won't go through that. I just appeal for the thousands and thousands and thousands of people in Australia, and the Royal Commission, to its credit, is demonstrating the disgusting culture of some of our institutions. I appeal for you to give consideration to cleaning up this act. I mean, the Royal Commission, the Wood Royal Commission, as you know, Mr. Attorney, was about to explore, and it's in the Hansard, so it's no great secret, who the legal fraternity people were that used to attend Costello's, the boy brothel club in Kelland Street, King's Cross. And I've actually got the list here. And a lot of them are still practising. But the judge of the day of the Royal Commission decided it was a no-go zone. And Paddy Bergen, councillor assisting at the time, said
31V.
we'll
Not
rise
doxing anyone,
tea, and they never went back to it. And I did ask the Commissioner why. He said he'd deny it.
Oh, if they hadn't turned up, I was ready to call it a night, but
good work of the Royal
stick around for the fun.
He said, we've decided not to revisit that issue because the public would lose confidence in the
I remember the
judiciary.
night they put me in one of these
I think
for
it's
an hour and a
time,
half.
like the churches and our
Freezing
other
cold.
institutions who are now facing up to the truth, I think
When
it's
they arrested
time
me
the
at Australian
institution of the
Parliament House,
law
that was a fun morning. It was one
faced reality.
long
There are a lot of
trip,
good people in the law.
15-minute trip to
The
the
Royal
lockhouse
Commission's
took an
doing
hour
an
and a
excellent
half.
job. I absolutely am blown away by their attitude, aptitude, and the forensic and tone they bring to, and the consideration of victims. Many who can live through this, many who can't, and suicide, etc. I think it's time we gave consideration to cleaning up the Act. And I mean, you may like to revisit. I don't see how, given the evidence, given just the instance, and I have to say I got rid of another judge through the excellent work of the Judicial Commission in New South Wales a few years ago without a murmur. He was the person who's in this list here as picking up young blokes in the toilets outside Marcelin College, Randwick.
Absolutely filthy.
He heard a case in the Central West, I won't name the town, of a not the father, the living with the wife, what do you call them? Mac, help me out here.
Stepfather.
The stepfather abusing a daughter. The judge closed the court. This is the judge that's in this here. Found the person guilty, suppressed the names, gave a non-custodial sentence to the man and let him go back to the family home. Nothing else was done.
Because he was a
I think it's a disgrace. Just finally say one thing. We can quickly
absolutely disgraceful, all right.
But I think included in these documents, and I think measures the issue, Mr. Attorney, and I would hope people are listening and we give serious consideration to the victims of this process. When the police find it necessary to put a judge under surveillance, I think we've got to a point where we've got a problem. And when that surveillance is dropped because of a lack of cooperation between the AFP and the New South Wales Police, we have a problem. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
What was that?
It was the
Judge
first
was
vote.
being surveillance by the New South Wales Police, and the AFP interfered so that surveillance couldn't continue. That was in 2015, 1 year after the AFP signed an MOU with Australian Parliament House Security Committee to become the sole security providers for the Australian Parliament House and the Australian Parliamentary
Close up
Precinct.
of Brad's butt.
And in that capacity, they deliberately interfered with pedophile investigations into a judge who was under surveillance directly in association with inquiries by the Wood Royal Commission into police,
Just taking a
New
historical
South Wales
photo, won't you,
police
Steph?
corruption and cover-up of high-level prominent pedophiles within the judiciary and the government. And the AFP interfered in that process So that judge, who the Wood Royal Commission found it necessary to surveillance, was allowed to continue his indiscreet and depraved actions without any further interference by the system of the law. I thought you people represented the law. So clearly there are two laws in this country. One law for the common man and another law for elites, prominent people and high-level people who are connected directly with Freemasonry. Two laws. That's exactly what the Freemason system teaches. You checkerboard flaw. Duality, black and white existing together. The dialectic system. Well, we've stepped outside your dialectic. We see who you are. We see what your agenda is. And we do not consent.
No, Dan's not here.
How much of your symbolism refers back to Saturn? That symbol right there in the blue.
I saw the little troll, don't worry.
That's a pretty easy matrix to form. The centre of that six-pointed star actually forms the cube. Three-dimensional object, or an octagon. Same pattern as a storm on the North Pole of Saturn. Yeah, man. I know what the Saturn agenda is. And I know that is the source of your darkest secrets and your deepest depravity. Saturn. The monster lurking in the dark. The great eye watching us from the darkness. The devourer of our futures. Saturn, the devourer of children. The devourer of his own children. Well, you can't have my children.
Nor mine.
Not mine.
I know. It's all there in history. It's all there in your symbology. I can read your symbology better than some of you. Shame. Some of you lower-level brothers. Shame. You can't see through your own deception. The 35 degrees laughing at you, at your ignorance. Surrounded by the symbology, and you still can't understand it. Saturn agenda. The devourer of the future. Our children are our future. You know that full well. I will not surrender our children to a gutless, spineless monster lurking in the dark.
The world
Bill Heffernan tried to expose twice under 2 royal commissions into sexual abuse and pedophilia inside the government institutions. There's the monster.
Yeah, but it's a low level. They keep feeding the high level.
That dirty little secret that no one wants to touch.
Absolutely, Rip.
You know who gave Bill Heffernan the list of 28 names of prominent pedophiles? It was the police. And they gave it to him because no one else would do anything with it. And that one man, that senator, who was a friend of John Howard, who ran for the Senate at the behest of John Howard, that one man had enough balls to actually try and do something about that list of 28 names inside the system. And he did everything he could. And the system chewed him up and spat him out. And still, those names are suppressed. That is a historical document, and I know why. Especially the Freemasons may not want that document made public.
I thought the speaker was good.
Because some of those names will also be connected with your fraternity. So I believe it is in the best interests of the Freemasonic movement to keep those names suppressed. Just the same way it is in the best interest of the judicial and executive of the Australian Parliament to keep those names suppressed, because those people who are governing this country and judging us are on that list, and those people are nothing but filthy scum, buggers of children. In fact, that was a charge that was laid against the former mayor just recently by Police Strike Force Eckersley, the New South Wales Strike Force, I believe. Beat you to the punch, AFP.
Come on, look at it, busy.
Protecting people who at the very least are associated with prominent pedophiles and suppressing the identities of those people. Well, some of them are coming out. Thank you, Strike Force Eckersley. Thank you, Commission into Child Sexual Abuse. Thank you, Bill Heffernan. And thank you for the people that are here tonight. People in Australia.
Why the media do the best to make us look evil.
To draw attention to this rot and filth that has infested every part of our society, our legal system, our government, our corporations, our schools.
Don't try, I want to take a bribe that you slip this. Say inside now, sorry that they picked him. Masonic rings sing as they rip them for the fingers. Fate lingers, time for the judgment. A world leader finally get to see you be above them. Days come
Move on, Jaya.
Jay-Z, Queen B, tell me where your buzz
Just
went.
small fry.
Yes, you
You got a big guy there tonight, haven't you? 31st degree, wants to come to initiate some more members.
That's for all your entertainers, all your politicians selling at your
Where are you going to go from here?
Plates from the
If I were you, you still got a conscience left. Walk out this door tonight and never go back to this fraternity.
A show for those who don't know, but a numb for those who know to go and condone it. Good and evil, we all have a choice. Don't tell me you
The longer you stay here, the darker your soul will become.
I just look at what the facts prove. You think that normal will be back soon? Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if that's truth, then I have to now. The moves and I've never been more proud. That's just another brick in the wall, we had a fallout. Couple more in the whole world fold, and the Masons are made, and they're calling you all out. It's true, man, it's on a show with the presidents. You got Jackson, Johnson, Jefferson, Ford, Washington, Roosevelt, the evidence. Many more than those of the White House residents. Since the Renaissance, the Knights Templar, they've been pulling strings to control legal tender. My friends, these things to remember. A Freemason got cold, Holy Roman Emperor. King George Prince Edward the William, to the Rothschilds who stockpile trillions. Wage war, make the money, killing millions. They're the generals, we're the soldiers, civilians. J. Brand, Churchill, they're the chief to the PM. Decide what you see in the museum. The Smithsonian, the mask, they started that. You control the past, if you control the artifacts. Under oath to keep the wisdom hidden. We live how they want us to be living. They're all the inventors like Franklin. Nah, I ain't even kidding. Yeah, they hold back the tech and we get what we're given like Chrysler, Henry Ford and the Chevy. Yeah, they gave us cars, but they control the petty. And what you eat like Kellogg's and the KFC, Wendy's, the Macy's, the JC Penney. They invented all the time zones and the A-bomb. Tell me that.
You still have the name of William Slim, the former Governor General. Do you still have that on your wall?
The Governor General?
Really?
Keep secrets. As we dive into this, at the
A
end
member of the Freemason military corps.
Masonic secrets, we're also just going to look at the idea of
the well-known pedophile who wasn't thrown out until after his death.
The truth of existence, should the truth of reality,
they removed his name off William Slim Drive here in Canberra,
so that all may understand.
but not off the Anglican
That's what we're going to
Church.
be talking about today. As we look into this book, this Masonic book.
Why is it that these pedophile Freemasons are never called out when they're alive? And if they are, they never get a custodial sentence.
And unpack it. And so I've been reading this book for a while now, and if you want to see my other videos on this book, I will put a link to the whole.
Why is it that people go to jail for tax evasion
I don't know,
for a lot longer than pedophile Freemasons?
You can watch that. I highly recommend it to give you a good understanding of what's going on here, but you don't necessarily have to have watched those for this to make sense. So let me bring this up here as we take a look at this book. And as usual, if I stumble over my words a bit, bear with me, because I don't know if you can tell, but the
Pedo Freemasons protecting pedo Freemasons. And we're sick of this system and we're here to end it.
On page 218, we're just going to start, and then I'll be giving my opinions on this and what I think about this and the reasons for them. So, the profound secrecy surrounding the ancient mysteries and the obligation of secrecy imposed upon every initiate into the Masonic fraternity arise from many causes and varying conditions, some of which have already been pointed out. So, the reason why so much secrecy surrounds this, well, there's a few different reasons. And let's see what they are. In times of political oppression and ecclesiastical persecution, it became necessary to conceal the identity of all members of secret fraternities. And as far as possible, the principles of the order were also concealed for mutual protection. So what are they saying?
Still here.
In times of oppression, whether that's political oppression or oppression.
If you want to hide, turn the light off behind you.
These secrets and these fraternities, these orders were kept secret to.
I know why you have those buttons in the back of your coat at the bottom.
That's a great reason. That's a fantastic reason. If you have to keep something a secret because you are going to be killed otherwise,
I haven't had
it's
me
a
camera
very good
through that
reason
crack
to keep a secret. So I'm totally in agreement with that. But, however, today, that's not an issue. These ideas, these secrets are no longer being persecuted by the political or the religious. Well, it depends where you live. You know, in some countries, yeah, I'm sure you could still be persecuted there, and it totally makes sense in that case to be secretive about it. However, in many countries today, it's you are not going to be persecuted for discussing these secrets or ideas. So this was a totally fine reason for keeping these ideas secret for the time. However, it's no longer necessary to do so. Depending on where you live, of course, but with that caveat in mind, this is no longer a reason. And what we're going to see is that this is kind of a leftover now. Now, a lot of these orders and secret societies and whatnot, they keep these things secret when they don't need to be secret. And it's actually turned into where at first had a really good reason for it, because people wanted to, stay alive, not be killed. It's a pretty good reason. But now there's no longer a reason for that. And a lot of these places use it for manipulation. The idea of secret knowledge, hidden knowledge, knowledge that one has to go through all this training to be able to get to, is used in a very manipulative way. Now, I want to make it clear that I'm...
And the A-bomb told me that alone ain't enough to leave your mind blown. From the Hoover to the computer, and wasn't the yak offended that could get your iPhones. From the Colt 45 to the razor shaver, some to get the team what they gave ya. Real problems, never think they made up to come back later and claim to be your savior. Your behaviour, how they want it this week. See the TV screen that the drip beat, the universal since the 20th century. I warn a bro to take the Mickey like Disney. Jesse Jackson, Buffalo Bill, Richard Pryor, John Wayne, none of them real. Mel Blanc, Crack their bill, what's the deal? All the so-called kings of the film. Remember that king called Drew Gallagher Botha, Oscar Wilde and even Alexander Popa. There's so many that you know like Hova, even to the late Beethoven and Mozart, Shaq, Tibbets, Household names. James Naismith, who invented the game.
When you get to the 70s,
Hoover in the FBI, cross maneuver, the architect of Rushmore, up and down with the White House statue of Liberty, and much more.
a night of the East and the West.
Hillary, the first man who ever was the Concorde, Red Cross,
17th degree, Scottish Rite, Freemason. The brother gets a right to become a knight of the East and the West. Very interesting, that term, because at that point you get to choose which path you go down for the rest of your life inside the fraternity. You're going to take the right hand path or the left hand path. You're going to go to the east or to the west. Another very interesting thing about the 17th degree Scottish Rite, Knight of the East and the West, is that at that point, inside that rite, you're set to access for the first time
community
your
guidelines
first
violation. Are you
taste of
kidding
the
me?
dark energy that is contained within your system. So that's like a temptation to go down the left-hand path, isn't it?
What was that, YouTube?
You know what the word is that allows you to access that energy? That word is Abaddon.
Like Freemasons.
Abaddon.
The clown in offices, traveling.
You all know who Abaddon
What does that
is?
mean? Can you
And
research?
I can't understand
Yeah, I can still. I'll probably get
why a supposed Christian
I'll get a strike, but I'm off strike at the
would
moment.
call upon Abaddon.
I just got a
as a rite of
violation for
passage
my
to
Freemason
the
video on
17th
my
level
TikTok.
of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry.
They got their fucking sticky paws in everything, eh? Even
Abaddon
TikTok.
is the angel of the bottomless pit. He's called and revealed
Look at
his
this
true nature in Revelation chapter 9.
Freemason video.
King James
Community
Bible.
guidelines violation.
Some of you men in there have got a King James Bible.
It might have been what I
Right
cashed.
there. Open it to Revelation chapter 9. See who Abaddon really is.
Freemasons are the
Well,
line.
they
The
didn't like
Bible
that
says
though.
he is
The chalk
the
out.
angel of the bottomless pit. And his name means destroyer. Why are you invoking the name of the destroyer in the 17th rite of Freemasonry? When you come to the night of the east and the west, and you have a chance to choose the left or the right hand path, and yet your first contact with the true energy that is contained in your system is through a dark entity called Abaddon, the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name means destroyer.
Don't watch or listen to the news. They're only lines, yeah.
And it's a very strange ritual to have in a supposed Christian fraternity. Now remain.
War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance strength. Yeah, that sound crazy. Healthy acting sick. Is that any better? We're staying apart. Keeping us together.
Yeah, we're good audience.
Your choice.
See up that far.
If you have a conscience left, do not choose either the east or the west. Step outside the box.
Say you've had enough and they say it ain't sufficient.
Become your own person. Break free from paternalized, institutionalized depravity.
Experimental facts to be no end all. Who's skeptical? They go mental. Yeah, that's the world that we live in. Everyone offended, it's a joke.
I'm gonna have to go soon. Get back to Nick's. Are you gonna follow me?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, cool. There's lots of people watching. I think we should stick together.
The men and the women's and the women in the man's though. I can't pretend the rain.
We're gonna go soon. Yeah. We should all go together.
Side of the east and the west.
There's a lot of fucking people
17
watching.
degree.
There's fucking heaps of
I know about your numerology too. 1 and 7
Are we
make
live streaming?
8 is the number of Saturn. Saturn agenda.
Maybe we should all drive north together.
The devourer of our future. The devourer of our children.
The man changed that, I listen to that curfew. Now we got the curfew. Well, what's my age again? Every time I blink 182, laws change again. GMOC, dropping leaves and they rake it in. Push back, we can take it in. You gotta do what you can do to help us try and make it wide.
We're all gonna finish up and head off together.
Smart idea, really.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of an audience.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
In the world that's made for yeah, I'm awake, I don't mean I'm
They might
the truth seek, get
check
on
out.
side to stay afloat, see ya. Sell that lie in hopes to get you broke. Now the media
Yes.
hopes and cop, recording over your grow, getting cruel.
Then I'm going home.
Getting quotas in the TV, trying to fool ya. Taking
Yeah.
as a fool ya. Teachers have
Maybe she'll
to
drive
make
to
sex changes in the school class. Swear a compass is in place.
I've got no drama shaking anyone on follow, mate.
Yeah.
Break the mold with the blood, don't fold. Making the code.
The rest here is
Paul's gonna come with me anyway.
yeah, you'll be right. You.
Leave the world that God meant it to be.
No, that's my favourite game. I'm from motorsport family.
Yeah, sometimes when other cars follow me, I'll turn down the wrong street. Like see? Better be safe than sorry.
Everything in life.
Yeah.
Whole life was trading for this.
Instead of have to intercept, censor my beats, my beliefs, I'ma speak till I'm dead and deceased. Expecting nothing less from my team, we never settle there, we'll give it a rest, we'll take the bread off the beats, or the vaccine.
Eminem has been slayed. Oh, God.
I was gonna say.
Mandy, what was her name? Mandy Metal has been slayed off the chat. See ya, Mandy.
But to not digress, they eat up the cycle, right? That's it. Yeah. I can't sing. You can't sing either.
Up.
Sing along.
We need to leave. It's 8:30. Oh, got a high-ranking officer coming in
He
here.
said it shouldn't be used to diagnose, and even better yet, he said about your years of fraud.
Good, how are you?
I digress. They up the cycle rate. That's how they get the false positives. It's obvious. Then they lock us down. That's my hypothesis. The clowning officers traveling with no mask and mocking us. But now we see the truth. There ain't no stopping us. Nah, 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 nah. And it all starts with the TV. I pull the plug at the work to see. Nah, 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 nah.
Communicating for everyone, or you're
There ain't no truth on the TV. Do your research and don't believe me.
We're just about to wrap up anyway. We're just about to wrap it up. Yeah. Playing our last song.
There ain't no truth TV. Do your research and don't believe me. Nah, nah, nah. You don't need the facts of Marvel's 99% legit. It's behind the facts of it.
I don't know time for it tonight.
Experiment, I won't accept it's just coercion, no consent. The side effects are leading blood clots or death.
It's a bit fresh tonight, isn't it?
You must be kidding. No matter what you say, you won't be pricking me. I don't want a ticket for your lottery. I just want you off of my property.
Oh, he's got a flat head.
And it starts with the T. Just pull the plug out there to see. Nah, 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 nah. There ain't no truth on the TV. Do your research and don't believe me. Nah, 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 nah. And it starts with the TV. I pull the plug out there to see. Nah, 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 nah. There ain't no truth on the TV. Do your research and don't believe me. Nah, 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 nah.
Oh no, they sent it up. Let's
Don't
just
watch
send
it,
it to D.
We're only lying, dear.
When did they go? Last week. I just haven't won it because I fucking spill shit on it every time. It's pretty good. Do a spin for us.
Where's the mic?
Yeah. There we go.
Don't forget to do your own research and look up Bill Heffernan's speech in the Senate regarding the Wood Royal Commission, 1995 to 1997. Pulling a list of 28 names of alleged high prominent government, judicial, pedophiles. It's very important that this gets out. A lot of these people are Freemasons. They're all connected. They all hide each other's dirty secrets.
And our souls won't stop, our shoulders don't drop. No God be holding the spot, it's a war that's soldiers and gold is stop. From a soldier to cop, from the waters, told for the top. They say just doing their job, I say they're doing it wrong. I ain't got time for excuses, on the front line, our future's right for the youth in a time where the truth is violence, troopers. That's why that's you right there, nice to meet you. Now the new YouTubers, battlefield hats sent through computers. They're on stage for the diamonds, you're in the club. I put the hat, might not do you. Pull a new card for the neck, to the wall and the lead to the yard and against. Fight for the support, he's proud and sweat. But we're down on the league, give an arm and a leg. Let me bump on our heads, might not know, but I can't win again. Got nothing and that's got something and then two spots on the front of my 100 says. The four people are dumb. No see what they've done. We shine like they creep in the dark. Want peace with an evil, leaving it up. New normal, leave it to us. You fat ass big dogs keeping the bar. Try and make us wig up the thief and the guns, but just like the backs with an evil, the arm. They accept the spell. Check what's the true sex on thread. They're hard dudes when they get top shelf. I'll bring their down, can't affect them around. Don't expect the spell. Check what's the new true sex on bell. They're hard dudes when they get top shelf. I'll bring their down, can't affect them around.
Come on, I'm gonna go.
Affect them around.
You'll be sleeping, won't you?
I might sleep till I get home.
You'll be staying up till then anyhow.
When I was a child, I loved to run, learn to go the mile. Saw Bill face when he showed a smile. Looked into the back, so I know he's vile. You'll do nothing without it. Now son, I'ma do something about it. You ain't dodgy, I doubt it. Another dead question, nothing around it. Typical, they're so into the boot. Fuck cold and gold, can't really do. We hold control, but I'm really just right now. Control the whole get around it. Break out of the break the spin, I grab it. Well round the man with the reason around it. To get drugged out of my vision. Never learn it first. Stay there, he get a first. 33, that's no concern. See your code word.
Oh, it's been a good night. I didn't take many shots of around us, but lots of people watching. A very busy car park earlier. right across from a pretty big shopping centre.
If your horse doesn't win by those top 6 in races 1 to 6 in Melbourne and Sydney this Saturday, get your money back and bonus up to $50.
$50? $50? Is that all? $50?
The last time was that's gonna be jolly, doesn't it? I'm not even sure which one this yet.
Why has my phone got a little animal symbol on it?
Because you're fucking with the Freemasons.
They got someone right now that's got, who owns Google again? They've got him bent over, flogging him. I'll fucking shut that bitch down.
Is this going to give me copyright issues?
Probably will, yes.
Alrighty. Got to mute.
Hope you've all had a lovely night out in Canberra. Except for you in there. Careful, Freemason.
Thanks for joining our little pop-up protest here in front of Freemasonry Lunch. It's been a blast. Thanks for all coming. Thanks for the people that came up and asked us what we were doing and what this is all about. Because wake up. What is going on? You won't be able to bring anyone down.
What time? Sorry. What time does noise abatement laws come in?
They're pretty much any time.
Oh, right.
If it's excessive,
Right.
it can be any time.
All right.
There's different constraints around times of day and mowing lawns and machinery and that sort of thing. So your neighbours can't just start doing a demolition at 2 in the morning. But that's excessive. That would be well and truly above.
Yeah, it's hurting mine too. Anyway, we're wrapping up. All right.
See you next time.
Night, guys. Have a good night. See ya. Freedom! Fuck the Freemasons!
It would be a lot easier if they could go backwards.
All right, that's a wrap. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Love you all. That was nearly a total wrap for Cara.